So, you're thinking about building your dream home. Maybe you've got your eye on a site or you're gearing up to tackle that long awaited renovation. Before you dive in, let's take a moment to pause and think. You want your dream home to be finished on time and within budget, don't you? Of course, that's the goal. But how do we actually make sure that happens? Now, you might be tempted to jump straight into the fun stuff. Sketching layouts, looking at Pinterest, looking at other people's homes, which is all valid to do. And as architects, of course, we love getting creative. But we have to pull back from starting with design right away. That's a bit like heading out on a marathon without warming up first. It's a recipe for trouble. So what's the right way to start? Before any designs get drawn, there's groundwork to do. You need to gather all the essential information that will shape your dream home. What are your needs and desires? What's the budget? What are the conditions around your house that could affect it? Are there likely to be planning issues? What about the neighbours? What style are you aiming for? Who's going to design it? We'd love to. Is this a forever home or just a stepping stone? How important is comfort? Although, doesn't everybody want to be comfortable? Are you thinking eco-friendly, renewable energy, sustainable materials? What about picking a builder, sourcing those materials, sorting out your finances? You'll also need to assemble a team of professionals such as a structural engineer, land surveyor, quantity surveyor, maybe even a planning consultant, depending on what the project calls for. It's a lot to think about, but don't worry, that's where we step in. We start with something we call the pre-design diagnosis. It sounds a bit technical, but it's really just a thorough look at everything you need to know before we even start to think about sketching. It's about getting organised so that when the design stage begins, everything is ready to go. Well, why bother, you might ask? Well, to be honest, at some stage in your project, you will change your mind about something, and that's completely normal. But would you rather make those changes early, when it's just a case of tweaking something on paper, or later when your builder is halfway through construction and every change costs a small fortune? Exactly. As Abraham Lincoln said, if I was given 9 hours to chop down a tree, I'd spend the first 6 sharpening the saw. The pre-design diagnosis is us sharpening your saw so you're ready to tackle your project head on. Skipping this step? Well, that's a bit like building a house on shaky ground. Sure, you might get it up, but when the cracks start to show, fixing them will cost you dear. On the other hand, sorting it out on paper, quick and easy. That's why we only work with clients who are ready to take this step seriously. Over the years, we've seen what happens when it's rushed, and trust me, it's just costs. It costs money, unexpected delays, stress, and these things are not worth it. The pre-design diagnosis is the foundation on which everything else is built. Once you have it, it can be used by us or any other architect, though of course we hope you'll stick with us. It'll save you time, money, and headaches along the way. You might think, can I save a bit of money by skipping this step? You could, but ask yourself this, can you afford not to do it? Skipping the pre-design diagnosis could turn out to be the most expensive decision you make. The best time to consider all your options is right at the beginning. So what's next? Well, head over to the contact form on our website, fill in your details and tell us a bit about your project and yourself. We'll arrange a free Zoom call to see if we're a good fit for one another. And after that, you can book your pre-design diagnosis with us if you like. It's as simple as that. And it's a perfect way to get your project off to the best possible start.